Hey guys, it's Sim and this is Wrestling Unlimited. As we're here, it's Monday, and well, we're talking Monday Night Raw. And I have to say it, this felt like Triple H back in the day booking an episode of NXT on Wednesday nights. This felt like Triple H booking an episode of NXT Black and Gold. I'm just gonna say it. This show had a bunch of good matches. It even had matches that weren't all that good, but still pretty good. Like, Dakota Kai, Dana Brooke was whatever. Other than that, and no, I would even say Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Doudrop, and Nikki ASH was a pretty good match as well. But just a lot of great stuff on this show. A lot of great storytelling and matches. A freaking For the Ages segment with Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, that I can't talk enough good about. That was fan-freaking-tastic. But just phenomenal stuff on this show tonight. Phenomenal. No pun intended with the phenomenal AJ Styles being on this show. But it was just like so much good stuff on tonight's Raw. Gonna fight back a burp. Oh, come on. Oh, Sin Saturday. Sin Saturday. No. The main event with Theory and Dolph was okay. Bro, what show were you watching? That match was an absolute banger. Banger. It wasn't as good as KO and McIntyre. It wasn't as good as, well, actually, I think it was pretty equal to Bobby Lashley and AJ Styles. To be honest, I think it was equal to that. So you're saying Bobby and AJ was just okay? No. I think Dolph and Theory had an amazing main event match. Like, that match being in the main event was great. Before we get into all that, I do want to say thank you if you are watching live, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. If you are watching later or listening later, then thank you for doing so, whether that's youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited or podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor, iHeartRadio, Google Pod, Apple Pod, and so much more. Also, remember, if you want to be part of the show, you can do so if you're watching live by texting into 510-906-1341. Also, remember that if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out either by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. And remember, it doesn't have to be your Amazon Prime account. I mean, it can, but it can be anybody's Amazon Prime account, whether that's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, anybody's. But on the flip side, if you are watching on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well by hitting that join button down below to become a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. Also, remember to head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something, whether that's a new game, whether that's an old game, whether that's claiming a free game. We're getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, Fall Guys, and now Rumbleverse. Yes, Rumbleverse in the game itself, unlike Fall Guys. Unlike Fall Guys, has Epic Store integration. It will let you put an Epic Creator Code in through the app, and you've got one of those. It's right here. It's code PW Unlimited. It doesn't cost you anything extra to put in that code, but it does directly support us right here without costing you anything extra. Remember, you can do it whether that's on the Epic Games launcher on your PC or from the games themselves, Rocket League, Fortnite, and Rumbleverse on your PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and so forth. But as far as Monday Night Raw does go, pop this screen back over here. Show opened up with Judgment Day. Well, actually, it opened up with a then, now, forever. But no together. No together. Nothing, and didn't say together anymore. Then they played the Raw intro. Fireworks rained through. And the show kicked off with Judgment Day. The Judgment Day came out, all three wearing suits: Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest. Ripley said the Judgment Day runs Monday Night Raw, and that's been a harsh reality to the Mysterios. She then said that she proved to Dominic why she's his poppy. I like that a lot. I really like that line. Balor didn't understand everybody's love for the Mysterios, and he had some sad news. Well, Rey and Dominic are not here. So he thought. Also, let me... Okay, got it. He said, he passed Mike over, or Priest started talking or whatever. Priest said he was ready for next week, his match with Edge in Toronto. And then, that sentence makes no sense. I don't know what I wrote there. Crowd booed him for saying something. I wrote that way wrong. Priest says that he plans on putting the final nail in Edge's coffin. He said he would do it without Ripley and Balor at ringside. He says he doesn't need the Judgment Day. He said, I'm going to retire Edge, but I'm not going to let Edge have the same kind of retirement he did last week doing movies and TV shows and appearances and this and that. No, Edge is going to be bound to a wheelchair, and Beth will have to feed him through a tube. All of a sudden, Rey Mysterio would appear in the ring and attack from behind. He cleared the ring of both Priest and Balor. Ripley then dared him, hit me. Balor tried to use a chair, but Rey kicked it into his face. Rey attacked both men with the chair before Ripley got in the way again. Rey wouldn't use it on her, which allowed Balor and Priest to finally get the better of him. And I go, oh, that's dummy. Coming in there 3-on-1 when one you're not going to hit. There's that burp. When one you're what's the word I'm looking for? Morals won't let you attack, but she'll beat shit out of you if she can. Dumb Rey. Rey gets beat down. Ripley gave him a DDT onto the chair as the crowd chanted, "We want Edge." Edge was not there tonight. Like, not just them saying he wasn't there. Edge just wasn't there tonight in DC. Put the chair on Rey's gut, and Balor did a stiff-looking coup de grace right onto the chair, onto Rey. Judgment Day then stood tall as officials checked on Mysterio. So next up, we had a first-round match in the Women's Tag Team Title Tournament. It was Alexa Bliss and Asuka taking on the team of Doudrop and Nikki ASH. Match went 9 minutes, and Bianca Belair was at ringside. I guess you could say she played favorites. She was in the corner of Asuka and Alexa Bliss, but, I mean, she's going to be their partner at Clash at the Castle, so of course she's going to be there to back them. So they went to a break about a minute into the match after Asuka and Bliss knocked their opponents off the apron. Doudrop squished Bliss between herself and the ring post at one point during the break, but Asuka made the hot tag and gave Nikki a German suplex for a 2. Nikki hit a flying crossbody, but Bliss broke up the pin, so Doudrop knocked her down with a running crossbody. Asuka knocked Doudrop down with a back fist, but Doudrop came back moments later with a Michinoku driver for a 2. Bliss then tagged herself and hit Doudrop with a DDT before Asuka tagged back in and hit a code breaker. Bliss knocked out Nikki as Asuka made Doudrop tap out with an armbar. Action was good. Crowd loved Asuka and Alexa, and the crowd popped big for the victory. So, hey, it did what it was supposed to do. I wouldn't call it a great match or anything. I would call it the second weakest match on the show, but on this show, calling it second weakest, dang. After the match, Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai entered to confront Belair. Asuka and Bliss, officials got between them and let nothing physical happen. Tim Patrick then interviewed Theory in the back. He says, great to see him back. Great to see him still Mr. Money in the Bank. So we talked about what happened at SummerSlam. He said he learned from what happened. He was going to be even more dangerous going forward. Ziggler would approach. Ziggler said that the briefcase wasn't handed to him. Unlike Theory, he had to earn it. And that's why it meant something when he cashed in. That's why the people were happy when he cashed in. Theory dismissed him as a has-been and said when he becomes champion, he wouldn't screw up the rest of his career like Ziggler has. Ziggler headbutted him. They brawled for a minute, and then they bumped into the camera, kind of like covering the lens of the camera, and it goes to commercial. I thought that was a cool little transition. You have them brawling, they bump the camera goes black, commercial. I thought that was cool. Come back from break. Corey Graves goes, they might still be brawling right now, but this is what we saw moments ago during the break. They're going to fight later. Sarah Shriver interviewed Champa and The Miz. Champa said he came close to winning the U.S. title last week, but they don't give out participation trophies here. He said his goal coming to the main roster was to become a champion. And he says, next time I get that opportunity, I'm not going to let it fall. I'm going to make myself a champion. Miz would then go on to blame the loss on AJ Styles and thought it was collusion that AJ all of a sudden screws Champa, gets a title match right here, right now. Well, tonight. Miz says he was proud of Champa. Had a tacky little gift for him. It was a picture of the two of them bedazzled into a necklace. Champa called it awesome. The two had a 9.5-minute match against Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. Before the match started, they played a video of basically Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander hyping themselves up and getting excited before the show. So, baby faces had to fight back after a break. They went to a break maybe like a minute or two in, and nothing happened before that, really. Alexander at one point gave Miz a Michinoku driver, but Champa put Miz's legs on the rope to break up the cover, basically. Ali wiped out Champa with a suicide dive and sent him over the announce table. This before Alexander got a near fall on a roll-up from an assist from Ali. Champa tagged himself in, but Ali didn't notice. He went to the top. Ali tried a 450, but Champa flew in with a mid-air knee strike. He followed with a fairy tale ending and picked up the victory. Yes, they let Champa pick up the win again. Also, I can't remember if it was in this match or a later match when Corey Graves said something about, well, I'm glad I have insurance on my phone, because people kept getting thrown over that announce table multiple times tonight. And hopefully for Corey's sake, he didn't break his phone. Like his phone didn't get shattered. I can't remember if it was in this match or the main event where, so they're fighting, get thrown over the table. Corey says, I'm glad I have insurance. Byron Saxton then tells him to say something. He's like, I don't know. Saxton, my monitor's not working. You guys take it for a minute. I can't remember if that was in this match or the main event, though. Regardless, this match, really, really, really good. These four guys, fantastic. The announcers claimed that Ezekiel will be out for a long time thanks to Kevin Owens. They showed a Photoshop photo of Ezekiel in a hospital bed surrounded by various family members where they all looked like him. Basically, his face transposed on a bunch of different bodies. And then they did a close-up shot of, I guess, his father, Ernie Jr. And there was Elias there, two other boys, like an adult and then a kid, grandma maybe, and then their dad. And my first question is, which one's Elrod? Which one's Elrod? Hot Rod Bubba says it was this match. Gotcha, the tag match. Mr. Banks said the same thing. It was during the tag match. Gotcha. Couldn't remember. But my question was, and I want to pull that image up actually. Go to WWE's Twitter because I know they posted it on there. I want to know, which one's Elrod? WWE on Twitter. Twit. What are you Rosenberg on freaking Raw Talk for? We don't need no freaking Rosenberg. Here he is. Here it is. So which one is Elrod? Is it this one? Mean mugging the camera? Well, they're both kind of mean mugging the camera. I guess if they said Elrod may be able to face Owens one week, then I guess it's the adult looking one. And who's the kid? Who's the kid with the backwards hat? Who's the kid? But I guess this one may be Elrod. Also, can we see what it says on the... No. Damn, I wish we could see what it says on... You know what? I'm going to do something really fast. Hold on. We're going to do some investigating. I'm going to open it in Photoshop, see if I can zoom in and clear it up for a second. Let's try it. Sorry, audio listeners. Let's go here. Here, I'll show you guys the process. Sharpen it. I know this says vital signs. I don't think we're going to be able to. Because if you look at the original image, it's already kind of blurry. On purpose. So this is EKG readings. This is vital signs. Pulse 75, I think. His blood pressure 128 over, is that a 15 or an 85? I don't know. Dang, I wish I was able to read it better. I wish we were able to read it better just to see what it actually says. Ezekiel. No way does it say that. Ezekiel Samson. Samson? They haven't been Samson in forever. Hold on. All right. Let's do something really fast. Hold on. We're posting this on Twitter. Making an arrow. It says Samson there. All right, I gotta go. All right, hold on. I didn't even see that earlier. Also, hold on. All right. We're going to save this image. Yes. Save. We're going to tweet this out. I'm going to say, which one is Elrod? Also on the whiteboard, it says I spelled that wrong. Ezekiel Samson. He hasn't had the Samson last name in a few years. Is he getting it back? All right, let's send that tweet out. Let's go post. Oh, wait, nope. I gotta fix something. All right, hold on. Fix the image. All right, here we go. I didn't even realize earlier. Well, and then they showed it really quick, and it was like a picture-in-picture kind of thing, and dang. All right. It frickin' says Samson on it. I guess Angel Garza wasn't wrong when he teased getting his name back, and Humberto put his name back in his Twitter handle. Like, Jesus Christ. All right, back to Raw. I got sidetracked there. So, again, the announcers did all this stuff with Elias or Ezekiel or whatever. Drew McIntyre was then shown walking through the back. He walked by a trash can that was apparently on fire. Adam Pearce was there with some other people putting the fire out. Or they had just put the fire out. Drew kind of looks over like, what the... They kind of laughed about it. They showed Wale in the crowd. And then we had the segment of the night. Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre freaking, oh my God, killed it. Some people on Twitter were like, that was really good. No, that wasn't really good. That was fan-freaking-tastic. That was phenomenal. That was stellar. That was outstanding. Both of these men tonight, amazing. Amazing. McIntyre entered and cut a fiery promo. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm getting sent something. Anyways. Cut a fire promo. He said that it might be a surprise to see him on Monday Night Raw, but get used to it. He said when he defeats Roman Reigns for the undisputed title, he'll be on Raw. He'll be on SmackDown. He'll be at every live event. He'll do what he's supposed to do as the champion and then bring the title where it needs to be, where it's supposed to be. McIntyre warned Reigns that their match wasn't happening on some fictional island of relevancy. It's happening on his island, and he plans on winning the titles. McIntyre then said, well, so there's a little rumor going around that I'm dealing with a bad back, and, well, it's true. It's because I've had to carry the load of 20 men on my back for the last 2 years. McIntyre said that when he wins the title, he's going to go everywhere and challenge all the best guys and let them challenge him like Champa, AJ Styles, Seth freaking Rollins, and Karrion Kross. When out would come Kevin Owens. Owens wondered why McIntyre, as big and bad as he was, carried on with this tough guy shtick with the comical tough guy voice. Also, I think it was Corey Graves goes, and there's somebody that McIntyre didn't mention. But Owens said that McIntyre was delusional to think that he was carrying anyone, especially him. Owens wanted to remind everyone who he actually was. He admitted that he spent the last couple of years showing up to work and just having fun and a good time. But he remembered something today. They're in the arena back at Battleground 6 years ago. He and Sami Zayn fought their asses off and tried to kill each other in. And that's a match that the fans still talk about till this day. Owens said that it's time to bring back the prize fighter. He said it's been 5 years since I've held the belt in WWE, and enough is enough. It is time for change. I'm putting every champion on notice, whether that's the Universal Champion, whether that's the United States Champion, the Intercontinental Champion, the Tag Team Champions. I'm coming for them all. And he warned McIntyre that he was coming for the winner of the match at Clash at the Castle. McIntyre said he was tired of hearing people make things up just to get a cheap reaction. He fired up by telling Owens what he knew exactly. That he knew exactly who he was. He said, I was fired. First he said, I was the chosen one. Then I got fired. Then I worked my ass off. And I came back here because WWE called me. I didn't call them. And I beat Brock Lesnar. And I beat everybody. And I this and that. And I won 2 world titles. And then he said the line that probably broke the internet. I don't care if you're a prize fighter, a sports entertainer, or a superstar. We're wrestlers in a wrestling ring. And let's just frickin' wrestle. Woo! That line right there. I'm going to read it again without me trying to be Drew. I don't care if you're a prize fighter, a sports entertainer, or a superstar. We're wrestlers in a wrestling ring. Let's just freaking wrestle. Fantastic line. Fantastic line by Kevin Owens or Drew McIntyre. Owens then basically said, all right, let's do it. Threw the mic. Said, let's go. Corey Graves mentioned that if McIntyre won the world title, he could appear on Mondays, Fridays, and heck, maybe even Tuesdays, because as the undisputed champion, he can call his own shots whenever he wants. This match, this match could main event WrestleMania. It was that good. 14 and a half minutes, almost 15 minutes, but it ends in a disqualification. And usually you would say, oh, that ruined the match and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But even with that bullshit finish, this is still freaking great. Even with the Usos coming out at the end, I don't care. This match was so good that I don't even care. Freaking excellent. So they're going and they're going and they're going for a couple of minutes. Not much happens early, and you can tell, oh, they're building. They're building in this match. They're not just trying to blow their loads early on. Owens does go for a frog splash off the apron, but McIntyre fought back. This was after commercial break. He hit some suplexes and a neck breaker. Owens came back with a DDT and got a 2 off of it. Owens tried a swanton bomb, but McIntyre got the knees up and hit a Michinoku driver. The third one tonight so far. He got a 2 off the Michinoku driver. Owens responded with a cannonball and a frog splash for a 2. He followed this with a swanton for a near fall. Crowd started chanting, "This is awesome." Owens then went to the top again, but McIntyre brought him down with a middle rope white noise for a near fall. McIntyre then headbutted Owens with a Glasgow kiss. Owens then hit a super kick, and McIntyre clotheslined him, and they both collapsed. They traded some fists, but McIntyre slipped out of a pop-up powerbomb attempt and hit a Future Shock DDT. McIntyre set it for a Claymore, but the Usos jumped him for a disqualification. McIntyre then fought them off and sent them out of the ring, and there was a little bit of a botch spot here. So I couldn't tell which Uso was Uso here, but McIntyre went to clothesline 1 over the ropes, and he kind of got stuck and then just fell and rolled out of the ring. McIntyre then back body dropped the other Uso over him and over the top rope. So he's like, runs at him and he throws him over. Uso goes flying and lands, boom, back on the other Uso. The other Uso's on the floor on 4s. Second Uso flies over the top rope, boom. They land back on back, just gosh. And you hear commentary go, "Oh, that one looks like it hurt." So McIntyre turns around and Owens drops him with a stunner. Owens then looks at the Usos and says, "Tell the tribal chief, well, he owes me one." Owens left and the Usos tried to take advantage of McIntyre, but he fought back. He fought off and nailed Jimmy with a Claymore kick. Jimmy didn't sell it long, and he got up and grabbed his jaw and walked off with Jay. McIntyre then said, "Hey, tell Roman I'll see him on Friday." Then we got another really good segment. It was Seth Rollins and Riddle. Rollins came out as they told us that after the break, we would hear, well, from Riddle. He'll give us an update on his status. Said he wanted a front row seat to hear Riddle announce his retirement. They showed Riddle in a room, I guess you can say, mic'd up for this little interview they were supposed to do. Excuse me. Seth said that he thought maybe Riddle could go back to middle school and finish the 7th grade. Riddle then interrupted on the screen. Riddle announced that he's actually medically cleared. And the next time I see you, Seth, it's on. Rollins then wasn't worried and reminded him of the last 2 times they were in the ring together. He stomped them head first. Riddle then said something along the lines of, "Hey, I'm not in my mom's basement. I'm actually right here in D.C. and I'm coming for you." He runs out. Him and Seth start going at it. They're fighting and fighting and fighting. Riddle avoids the stomp at one point and attacks with some kicks and a suplex. Rollins fought him off and set it for a stomp on the announce table, but Riddle avoided it again and hit a knee strike. Rollins then ran away through the crowd. Riddle chased after him, but Rollins did get away, and Riddle posed in the crowd as the crowd was chanting, "Bro, bro, bro, bro." And this was a tremendous looking shot. He's in the crowd. He's all hyped up. He's like, "Rah!" And the crowd's all around him going nuts and wild and crazy. He's got this 420 bro shirt on. It was a great scene. It was a great scene because he's running up the stairs and realizes Seth's gone. So he just turns around. Yeah! And the crowd's going wild. And oh my God, this was great. This was fantastic. They got a really good video package hyping up Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles. Styles was shown warming up in the back. Oh, never mind. I was about to fast forward something. No. That's later in the show. Actually, it's right here. Show the video. Then in the back, Kevin Patrick approached Riddle. He's like, "So you're back. What next?" He's like, "Well, I want to challenge Seth to a match at Clash at the Castle if he's willing to show up." He then looks at Kevin Patrick and goes, "KP, I know you'll be there." I'll see you there. And WWE did announce after Raw the match is official for Clash of the Castle. It will be Seth Rollins taking on Riddle. We then had a sub 2-minute squash match. It was Veer Mahan against Bo Keller. He won with the $1 million clothesline and the cervical clutch. Bill Lashley was shown warming up in the back. Adam Pearce could be seen speaking with security / maybe police in the background. Schreiber interviewed Dakota Kai, Bayley, and Io Sky. They bragged about the usual stuff. They want to take control of the division and this and that. And they said that later on, Dakota Kai will have her first singles match on Raw. And then all of a sudden, she confronts Dana Brooke. And they go, "Oh, we're not here for your belt. You don't want it." And I'm like, wow, way to bury that title, even though it's already a nothing title. And like, we just wanted to make sure you're ready for our match tonight. And Kai told her that fear was a motivating thing and that maybe Brooke should be afraid. Basically, Dana Brooke's like, "I'm always ready. I'm ready 24/7. And I'm not intimidated by you." So they're the mean girls. They're the mean girls. Bayley, Io, and Dakota. Then we had a 21, almost 22-minute match. Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, United States title. There's a sliding knee and a forearm early off the apron by Styles, which led to a commercial break about a minute in. Lashley chucked Styles around ringside after the break. Styles mounted some offense, but was selling his back, and Lashley dropped him with a spine buster. Lashley twice whipped Styles into the turnbuckle pretty dang hard. Miz and Champa then made their way down to, I guess you could say, distract AJ, as Lashley knocked AJ Styles off the apron. Champa, though, distracted Lashley so Miz can go after Styles, but before he could, Dexter Lumis jumped the barricade next to the announce table. Lumis was immediately tackled by security, which also knocked over Corey Graves. The camera stayed on it for a while as the Miz stood up from AJ. He was like down on AJ. He stood up, kind of walked a step or two over and just looking at it like, what the hell's going on here? What the heck? So my question is Lumis here for AJ or the Miz? Because twice now he's tried to, I guess you can say, jump the barricade or run towards the ring while the Miz and AJ are there. So who's he after? Is it Miz or is it AJ? After a break, well, actually, they told us during the break, Lashley speared Miz before the ref tossed Miz and Ciampa from ringside. After the break, Jimmy Smith mentioned Lumis by name, but Graves said, "Hey, no, none of that. That guy doesn't even work here. He's this, da, 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 da. We got a title match going on, Jimmy. Come on. We need to focus." Styles fought back at one point and hit a forearm. Not a phenomenal forearm, though. And Lashley kicked out following a running power slam for a 2. Styles then came back with the rack bomb for a 2, and Lashley had a modified Dominator for a 2 of his own. Lashley then drove Styles into the ring post and went for a spear in the ring, but Styles countered into a calf crusher. Lashley countered the calf crusher into a cool-looking hurt lock on the ground, which is really, really cool. AJ reversed into a pin attempt, which meant that Lashley had to let go, break the hold. Lashley then ducked a phenomenal forearm, speared AJ Styles, and pinned him to win the match and retain the United States Championship. Really good match here. Really, really fun match. I mean, the Miz Ciampa Luma stuff kind of took away from it a little, but not much. Not really much, because they did it all kind of like lumped together in one small little section of the match, and then it was over. So we got a half hour left in the show at this point. Non-title match here. It was Dakota Kai against 24/7 champion Dana Brooke in a 2.5-minute match. Nothing really happened here. Brooke got a little bit of offense in, but Kai won relatively easy with the running boot in the corner. And I man, I can't stop burping. They told us next week on Raw, Edge versus Damian Priest, and Asuka and Alexa Bliss against Kai and Sky in a second-round tournament match. The winner of that match goes to the finals. We then had a 16.5-minute main event. It was Theory and Dolph Ziggler. This match was great, as Tony the Tiger would say. So, they came back Oh, they went to a break 2 minutes into the match. Theory kind of had control at that point. When they came back from the break, there was a wide shot of the crowd. The crowd didn't really look all that full, which is kind of weird. So these two did a lot of interesting things in this match because it's like Theory would get the advantage and do a couple things to Ziggler, and then Ziggler would take back over and would do very similar things to Theory. Like Theory threw Ziggler into the ring post from inside the ring, and then, well, Ziggler did the same thing to him a couple of minutes later. It was really weird. They did that for the first, 8 to 10 minutes, where, Theory would get the advantage and do a bunch of stuff, and then Ziggler would get the advantage and do a bunch of stuff, but it was a lot of similar stuff. About 10 or so minutes in is when they really started to ramp things up. Ziggler countered a rolling dropkick attempt at one point into a Faymaster for a 2 that looked really cool. They traded cradles until Ziggler hit a zigzag for a near fall. Traded a cover with his feet on the ropes. Theory, that is. Referee saw him, said, no, I ain't counting the 3 on that one. No, sirree. Excuse me. Ziggler then tried for another Faymaster, but as he jumped up to do the Faymaster, because, Theory is kind of bent down, Theory comes up with him and catches him. A-Town down, watch, chew, pins him, gets the win. Theory finally wins a freaking match as Mr. Money in the Bank. Let's look at this. I'm going to pull up Theory's cage match results for a second here. Matches. So if we look here, and I'm not going to count live events because he's been doing a lot of U.S. title matches with Lashley and Miz, or just Lashley. That doesn't really matter. But since Money in the Bank, let's see, where's Money in the Bank? So since Money in the Bank, Theory is actually only won on television. Actually, he hadn't won yet on television before tonight. And so he won Money in the Bank, and then he lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 matches since Money in the Bank. Granted, DQ, count out, DQ. So you go, oh, they kept them strong there. Yeah, no. Mr. Money in the Bank should not be losing everything. So him and Ziggler had a great match, and I'm glad that Theory was the one that actually picked up the victory. So at the end of the show, no shenanigans, no nothing. Just Theory posing. The show goes off the air. Selfies, and hey, here's my briefcase. That was it. That was Monday Night Raw. A really, really good show. Again, Magma Lord. Yes, he did win last week at the WrestleMania launch party. But I was talking about televised on TV matches. I get it, that match aired on YouTube. But I was talking just Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-view. So Raw, SmackDown, SummerSlam. If you want to go that route, he's lost a lot more than 8 with house shows and stuff. Plus, he had 3 weeks off when his uncle passed away. So that's even more matches he could have lost. But that's it, guys. That is going to wrap everything up as far as me talking Raw. But now, time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. Before we do the questions or anything, let's check out the polls. First off, we've got the Twitch poll. 100% of you like tonight's Raw. Very, very nice. As far as the Twitter poll does go, 70% liked the show, 22% thought it was just all right, and 7% did not like Raw. And as far as the YouTube community poll does go, 77% liked the show, 19% thought it was just all right, and 4% did not like the show. So very similar, a little more liked it on the YouTube side of things, but all right. Very, very, very nice. Majority rules. Majority liked tonight's Raw. I'd say this is the best Raw in a long time. As far as some of the comments here, as per says, my favorite matches tonight were Owens, McIntyre, Ziggler, Theory, AJ Lashley. Well, of course. Or says Kevin Owens match and the Dolph match were the best ones tonight. Or says there wasn't a boring part, to be honest. For the most part, no. I wasn't. I take that back. No, there wasn't. I wasn't bored at any point in tonight's Raw. Even when it was Dakota and Dana Brooke in there. You might go, well, were you bored during that? No, actually, I wasn't. Because it was a good showcase match for Dakota. So I agree. I don't think I was bored at any point of tonight's Raw. All 3 hours. And the 3 hours felt like it flew by. As far as the text messages do go, this person says, I thought the draft was a Vince thing. With Triple H in charge, I thought the draft would be over. No. Stephanie is a big proponent of the draft. Stephanie's always liked the idea of doing the draft because it makes, just like Vince had said in the past, it makes the having multiple brands feel like it's a real sports thing. Versus if or when Johnny Gargano goes back to WWE, will he wrestle in NXT or on the main roster? That's a good question. I honestly don't know. I would assume main roster. Says, I've seen a report stating WWE wants to take the title off of Roman. How could that happen? And would it be Drew that wins it? I haven't seen that. I don't know what you're hearing that from. I mean, if you've got a link to that report, link me. Whether just send me it in a text message or on Twitter at TimmyBuddy or at PW Unlimited. But I can't comment on that because I haven't heard that myself. And I haven't seen anybody report that either. Says, where was Cedric's partner Shelton? Also, are you covering NXT Heat Wave tomorrow? No, I will not be covering NXT Heat Wave tomorrow because I have to take my son to his football practice. Usually my ex can take him, or I just drop him off and I'm back home in time. But tomorrow she's got some things because she's helping out with the team. So she's got to go do something else for the team away at a different site. So I got to be there for the whole practice. So no, I'll be watching, but I won't be actually reviewing the show tomorrow. As far as Cedric's partner Shelton, I think they literally broke them up recently on like Main Event or something. They had a match against each other. Or says, I would love to see Shayna and Ronda go for the tag titles at some point in the future. Well, they teased a little dissension between the two on SmackDown, so I don't know. Or says, you think Pete Dunne gets repackaged? I hope so. I mean, heck, keep him with the Brawling Brutes, but just make him Pete Dunne again. The Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. Even if you keep him with Sheamus, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Just, he don't need to be Butch no more. But the question is, you introduced him as Butch. He's been around as Butch. Now, how do you change that, though? Without, like, taking him back to NXT for a little bit and then bringing him back to the, you know what I mean? Says, do you think with Triple H now in charge, do you think WWE will have different plans for Cody once he returns? I honestly don't know. I can't say because we don't really even know what the plans for Cody was. All Cody did was a 3-match storyline with Seth. We don't know what the Cody plans were, to be completely honest. So we can't answer that question not knowing what the plans were before with Vince in charge. And this says, any update on the Usos? Are they injured? Why would you think that? They worked tonight. They attacked Drew. They fucking took great bumps out of the ring and almost one deed. Yeah, I don't know. What? Who said they're injured? Who the hell said they're injured? Usos are injured? That's news to me. I haven't heard nothing about the Usos possibly being injured. I don't know where you're getting that news from. Let's see. I mean, unless you're saying that it looked like they could have got injured off that spot where one got thrown out of the ring onto the other one at ringside. But no, I haven't heard or seen anything of them being injured at all. As far as the text messages do go, that is going to wrap everything up. And that is going to wrap up our Monday Night Raw review. I do want to say thank you to everybody who did join us. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PW Unlimited. Really, Luke. Drew Gulak back on Twitch? Hold on. Let's see this. Let's see. Drew Gulak was on Twitch 3 hours ago. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm going to look into that. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited if you are watching live, or if you're watching later, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, or listening on podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. I will be live a little bit later on tonight if you're watching on Monday. Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. Me and Mr. Bangs, we're going to go play some Fortnite before they drop the trailer for the Fortnite Dragon Ball Z collab. We'll do a live watch along of that trailer, and we'll see what goes on from there. But join me in a little bit. We're going to be playing some Fortnite. We're going to be having some fun. Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your Monday night. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.